we are live here for the next Gen Connection, and seems like my next Gen Connection, there we go, is a little bit slow, and now there we go. Okay, I think we're live, and I think we're good. Hello and welcome. Again, we are here for the Next Gen Connection today. Right now, guys, Brianna Luck, and I am joined today by Sarah McCauley, and we'll go through a quick little introduction in a second. Give a second for you guys to all hop on right now. Hopefully, we get a bunch of you guys on here because it was a bit of a hot topic when I posted today this week in the group, just about social media, what you guys are struggling with, what you need some help on, and all that kind of good stuff. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to bring Sarah on because she is the social media marketing manager. I don't know. We really need to update your title because it's evolved over the years. So if you guys are getting on, could you just do me a favor and post a quick comment so that we can make sure that is working? And I'm wearing my PA toque today because it's snowing, but I'm also going to show you guys what I did. I had to cover it up. I scratched myself so bad on my forehead this morning when I was getting ready for the today. So anyways, that's why the toque's on, so I can hide that little thing. So again, if you guys are hopping on, do me a favor, just post a quick little hello. Oh, yay, there's some of you guys. Fantastic. Hello. The only problem is that I can never see on this platform who it is that's actually commenting. So I'm going to pull that up and over too, and so I can see that. Somebody said they are here. And guys, again, we're talking social media today and marketing. And so if there's any specific questions that you guys have that you want us to touch on for that, then definitely post them in the comments. And then we'll be able to help out with that. So there we go. It's Suzanne and Katie. Good to see you guys. Awesome. Great. So let's go ahead and start with a quick introduction. So again, this is Sarah. Hey, Jana, I have it's all Canadians that are on right now. Good to see my fellow Canadians. Anyway, so this is Sarah. She's been working at Premier Academy. We're trying to figure out how long it's been actually, but she's been with our program for 11 years and is one of those that's grown up with the program and has gone from an athlete to a coach to taking on more admin, was doing special events, was doing social media, has taken on more of the marketing. So the position and her role within the gym has evolved over the years. And now she's a pretty big part of our program. And for all of you guys who are also part of the Academy, she's starting to work on some of the Connect 3 stuff too. So any of the material that's going to be coming out as well for that, she's going to be supporting all of our Academy members and Connect 3 people for that. So, yeah. Did I miss anything?
No, I just want to pop in quick and say how excited I am to be a part of Next Gen now, and super excited to help Danielle and everybody else out with the Connect 3.
Yeah, woo woo.
I'm pumped about that. I'm pumped to get you guys those awesome graphics that you can use on your page that'll get you engagement and reach and everything. So
yeah. So let's talk a little bit about, first of all, can you guys do me a favor? For those of you guys who are on, let me know right now, are you the ones that are managing your social media and your marketing, or do you have a staff member who's doing that? Because we'll talk a little bit about how Sarah has transitioned into her role for that, because I think that's a really great topic for us to provide some insight on as well. Because like I said, her position has evolved and from kind of over the years from coach to managing special events and then taking on more and more and more of social media. So I think that's really valuable. And to be honest, when I was doing the social media, I would go in spurts. It was killer. It was awesome. Well, okay, I won't say it was awesome. I was doing it.
It was not bad. It was not bad.
I was doing it. I was doing the social media. I was doing the marketing, but it was super inconsistent. And so I knew that that was something that I needed to be able to pass off on. I'm like the big idea person, and then once it's all figured out, then I like to just give it to somebody who's going to do a good job of it. And Sarah does a really good job. she also happens to manage the social media for all 3 of our locations as well. So she takes care of it. Yeah, takes care of all of it. And not just the social media, but also the email marketing and stuff as well. So she kind of does the majority of that stuff there. So yeah. So again, if there's any questions as we go along, then let me know, guys, and we can certainly go over that. So let's talk a little bit, I guess, about how we went from not a lot and to you taking over pretty much everything.
Okay, so it's definitely a process that I think you want to take one step at a time, because there's a lot of learning to every single component of social media and marketing. You want to make sure that you have a general idea of, what works and what doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And that takes learning. That is a huge learning experience, because it may vary and it may differ, right? One month it may be this really worked, or next month maybe it didn't work that much. So you kind of got to do that. But, how I kind of evolved, I would say, I just learned and I got comfortable with things, and then I was just ready for the next step, ready for a new challenge. And that's like a daily thing. I'm ready for new stuff and new challenges all the time. And you kind of just got to keep your mind open. Yeah. Because one thing too with social media too is it's never the same. It's constantly evolving. There's constantly new things that are coming up and new trends, new things you can use. So you kind of got to have that open mind and be willing to learn and kind of move in the groove that it's going as well.
Absolutely. And I think when we first started off, so Janet, look at these cool little features that I can do here.
Oh, cool.
Watch. Yay.
Oh,
so that was actually Janet that just said, I'm where you were at. I do it all and super consistent. Yeah. And I think the thing that I learned along the way too was that in order for you to get the most out of your social media, is that you have to be consistent with it, right? In order for you to really get a lot out of it. And social media right now is so powerful. And at the moment, I would still say that Facebook is still where it's at when you're going to get the most out of it. But there's so many other platforms that are now coming out, and there's a lot of great stuff that are coming with that. So okay, so when we're talking a little bit about how that role evolved, you started basically taking on some of the general daily posts in terms of what was going on in the gym, like snapping pictures and posting that kind of material. And then it's evolved more into you doing the consistent editing of the posts, and then also now you've started doing the ads as well.
Yes,
that was the next step. And then one of the things that was on our strategic priorities back in the summer was to get Sarah to start taking over the email marketing as well. And so she does all of the email marketing. So realistically, between myself, Kira, and Melissa, we are so hands off right now with all of our marketing for the most part. We provide the information that Sarah needs for what she's doing, and then she kind of goes from there. So
one thing I want to touch on really quick, Rihanna, you keep saying consistency, and I really think that consistency is a huge part of social media, not only with making sure that you're being consistent with posting, but being consistent with what your social media looks like as well.
Yeah.
So, when you go into Canva, you want to make sure that you have your brand kit done with the select fonts that you want to use in your colors. And you really want to play with those as well and make sure that they're using them, so that when people are just flipping and scrolling through Facebook, as soon as they see, your brand, they're going to automatically recognize it and know that, okay, this is Premier or this is Twisters. And they'll just associate with that. So I think that's really important as well. And consistency with being online. So I like to do a general rule of 3 posts a day. I like to do 1 in the morning. So you want to think about the times that people are on their phone. People are on their phone first thing in the morning when you wake up. You wake up, you look at your phone.
No, I'm not.
Oh, I do. So I wake up in the morning, I look at my phone. And then you want to think probably around lunchtime, lunch break.
Yes.
And then you want to think late at night. So not late at night, but around that 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock time where kids are in bed. parents are sitting
Yes.
down. Well, most kids are in bed
Yes.
anyway. Parents are sitting down looking on their phone. So that's kind of my general rule. I also like to think that, I don't want to spam people. So you want to be careful with that as well. You do want to have that general 3 posts a day, but you don't just want to be posting to post.
Right.
So you want to make sure that your content is valuable at the same time. So I like to say, one kind of ad or, graphic explaining something that you have going on at your gym. And then you want to do maybe one picture of classes or something that had gone on recently. And then maybe you just want to do a fun little post. Maybe it's even just sharing an article that, really spoke to you or that, really defines what you are as a gym or something that you can resonate with, that kind of thing. So with being on social media, I find too, if you're on social media, you kind of got to, if you're wanting to post on social media, you got to stay on social media as well personally.
Yes.
Because here I come back again to those trends. You got to stay up on the trends. You got to stay up on the topics. We're all familiar with Bernie's minis.
Yes.
I jumped on that train and I sent a message to Rihanna with a Photoshop Bernie in front of PA, and I was like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
We were the first ones to get it up on there, and then it just ran. So like I said, you got to stay up on the trends. You got to be active. So
yeah. Figuring all that stuff out. Absolutely. Okay. So while you're talking about, so we're talking about social media posts and how often you should do it. The other thing too, guys, if you're not familiar with where to see your insights, because it's what works for us it could be the same for you guys or it could be different. So you need to become familiar with your insights. And if you don't know where to find your insights, then figure out how to do that or reach out to me and I can help you figure out how to find your insights on that, because then you can schedule your post based on when people are looking at your stuff. And you can also see what your market is on there. And guys, it's not just on Facebook, it's on Instagram as well. Because there's this common thought and belief that Instagram is where the kids are at. But if you look at your insights on your Instagram account, I'm willing to bet that it's probably similar to ours, that it's still the moms. It's still primarily women, and it's still primarily that 23-ish to 40-ish age range. So take a look at that stuff and make sure you're targeting your marketing accordingly. Any of the things that work really well too, I find that you do is mom related kind of either funny
parenting
memes
stuff.
Or those things do so well in terms of engagement, people sharing and commenting and liking and all that kind of stuff. So anything you can find that is going to do that, then that helps as well. But what I was going to say, so we talked a little bit about Facebook. Instagram, I had come across some insight on Instagram had just released some information on what the kind of what the suggested number of posts and the way to use Instagram was.
To get on the algorithm.
Yes, exactly. So do you remember what that was?
Oh, off the top of my head, I think it was 2 posts a week. So, which surprised me actually. I had thought initially that it would be the more the better, but no, they said 2 posts a week. And I think it was 4 or 5 stories.
Yes.
And then 2 or 3 reels.
Yeah.
Which reels
and IGTV too.
Oh, right. That's right. And the IGTVs as well. So there's another example of how things are constantly changing and evolving. Because Rihanna had messaged me like, hey, do you know what a reel is? And I'm like, oh, let me look into it. I looked into it and I was like, oh, it's so easy. We could totally start doing that. So there's another thing, hopping on those trends.
Yeah. So I can even share too in the comments at some point in time what that suggestion was. I had put it in the Academy last week or the week before for all of our Academy members. And then we actually ended up doing one of our Ask the Coach Lives was on how to get the most out of Instagram too. So so that's kind of Instagram. That's a little bit about Facebook. Let's talk a little bit about what kind of we did a little bit on, because some of the questions that had popped up when I did a post earlier this week that people are struggling with is engagement. So we talked a bit about the parenting or mom kind of memes, jokes, whatever, that kind of stuff. What else do you find works best to get engagement? Videos. Number 1 is videos. If you can snap a video of a kid doing a back walkover or doing a drill and share that, you're going to see a lot of engagement because you're showing
what you do. It's not just a picture, it's actual content of what is going on at your gym and at your facility. So there's another thing. If you happen to have an extra 2 minutes and you're walking around the gym on a Tuesday night, snap a couple pictures or videos, right? Happy smiling kids, number one, that's the biggest rule, happy smiling kids, and videos, post it. Hey, here's what was going on a Tuesday night at Premier, lots of sweaty smiles. And you're gonna see that engagement come from that because parents are like, wow, this is my kid in a class rocking these drills. So you know what too, with engagements, it's another trend thing too. One thing may work one week, one thing may not work another week. So that's why following your insights, and on your insights, it'll tell you this was the post that got the most reach or the most engagements, and use that to your advantage. So say, hey, this picture or this video did really well. So you know what, next week we're going to make sure that we do that again.
Yeah, Jenna just had commented too, my biggest struggle is engagement. So good thing we're talking about it. Encourage families to share and comment and do contests for the kids to comment and tag, but families just don't seem to join in. Maybe not social media people. I would say that you have a lot of social media people. But again, feel free to follow our Facebook page as well and see what Sarah's doing with it. But yeah, any of the videos that you can do. And you have to remember too that they're going to be more willing to engage on things that their kid has been involved with.
Right.
The one thing that we get huge engagement on that we do every year is our Meet the Team Monday. That's a huge one to build engagement on your pages as well. So do you want to talk a little bit about Meet the Team Monday?
Absolutely. So it's super easy. All it was a Google form sent out to all of our membership. Quick question. It was, what's the name of your, what's the name of your child? What's your child's name? What's your child's name? How old are they? What team are they on? What's their favorite memory? Just some simple questions that you can ask that you can just quickly copy and paste over and create into a sentence format. A picture of the child, plop it up on there, and then you're going to see the parents share it. You're going to see the grandparents share it. You're going to see the auntie and uncle share it. You're going to see, right? It's huge, especially, like I said before, when they can resonate with the child and they can resonate with what's going on and get that connection. The connection is what you're looking for. So,
Yeah, so Jenna, that might be a super awesome one for you to just start. And for any of you guys who are in the academy, that Meet the Team Monday system is found in the members area already. So you can just snag that. And I think I have the sample of the form that Sarah's created and all that kind of good stuff for it. So it's all there for you. Yeah, any other questions on things there, guys, that we're missing that you guys need some help on as well for social media? Do you have any other?
Yeah, one thing that I was just thinking about saying, especially about engagement. So I know with us at Premier, we have our main social media pages, but then we also have our members group. So I try to think about keeping everything that's on our main page as general. And then when I'm posting on our members group, I make it specific. So that's maybe where I'll post our Tell Me Tuesdays, so that I'm engaging directly to the members rather than the general public, because the general public isn't necessarily going to comment on those things because they're not necessarily, going to do that. So if you do it on your members page, try to get that engagement up on your members pages as well, because if you're connecting with them through there, then you're going to see them want to follow and want to be more active on your main pages as well. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the other thing too that we can talk about is Facebook ads. So let's dive into that a little bit and what is important to take into consideration, because I know that there were some comments as well from people that said they were struggling with ads. And so there's some key components to successful ads or running a successful ad. Off the top of my head, you have to make sure that, again, going back to what Sarah said, your pictures or your video, like play with that. Do some split testing. Thank you. Split testing on that. And you can try out either different images or an image and a video and see what works best for that. But your image needs to have limited text. So it can't have more than 20% text on it. So Sarah's learned that as well the hard way.
I have.
It's if you're doing, let's say, an ad for your trial program, all you put on there is 4 weeks for $49. That's it. That's all. And then the ad copy. So the text that you're putting in there, that's where you put stuff. And you want to make sure that ad copy has something that's going to get those parents' attention. So maybe it starts with attention parents from Red Deer, get your kid involved or whatever it ends up. I don't know. Do you know what your copy is?
Yeah. Well, one thing I learned too, always with social media ads, you always want to start it off with a question. So you want to grab that question, that hook.
Yes.
So, do you need, I'm blanking off the top of my head, but I always try to tie in the first thing that they see as a question.
Do you have an active 3 to 5 year old?
Because then it hooks them in. They're like, yeah, I do. So I'm going to read more about this. Yeah. So that's one thing too. One thing too, super cool about Facebook ads is you can do different types of ads with that as well. You can do carousels. Right. So where, there's an ad, but you can also see that there's 3 other images beside it. So you can really advertise 3 different things going on in your program. And one thing too about Facebook ads, people don't necessarily seem to care about them or notice them until they've seen them, I think, 5 times. 5 times is the general rule too. So you want to make sure that not only you're getting yourself out there, but you're going in and you're copying that ad, right? Maybe changing the graphic, but keeping the same 4 weeks for 49 so that it's still popping up, but it's fresh. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So,
and we usually run ours for a minimum of 2 weeks, so that it gets in front of people as well. So, there's that. And then the other really important thing that you have to, for an effective ad is you have to take into consideration where that ad is going to, right? What are they clicking on? Where is it sending them to? Is it somewhere in an ideal world, somewhere that they're opting in and you're collecting their email. Right?
Yes.
Rather than them taking to a page where they just look at and then they forget. So, because if you send them to somewhere that you can at least get their email, then you can continue on marketing to them in your email marketing. Right. And guys, email marketing is also huge as well, a huge tool. So those are kind of some important things. We've played with, we just did recently played with a lead form. Yes. So if you're already really familiar with Facebook ads, then start playing with lead forms. But I also know that at our next conference, we're going to be talking about that and how to do a successful lead form, because it's quite new on Facebook, but it's really, really cool.
It was super cool. And it takes away that extra step of going to the website. Yes. And we had a really, really good response from it.
So if you're familiar with Facebook ads, I'd definitely hop on checking out how to do lead forms. But if not, then we will provide some insight and some teaching on how to use those lead forms and stuff as well coming up in the future for that. So it looks like Katie had said 3 posts a day. Is that for both Instagram and Facebook? Or what would you do different on each? So go ahead.
General rule, Facebook only, because Instagram, with that new thing that they came out with the algorithms, Instagram really only wants you to post twice a week. So I tend to
post, right? But then there's the important side of the stories. Yeah. So I was just about to say that. So you should generally, if you have kids in the gym and you can make a story about what's going on, or you have time to, resize that graphic on Canva and advertise something on your story, do that. You should generally always have a story running. I'm maybe not the best at doing that at all times, but I really try, especially right now when we don't have too much going on here at Premier. But if you are able, content, and stories are a huge thing too. So I would say try to have a story about what's going on in your gym, but try to refrain to only 2 or 3 posts a week, posts on your Instagram. It's also really important, I find, on your Instagram to have everything look the same. So we go back to that, that brand kit, what does your brand look like? What fonts do you use? What colors do you use? When I look at our Premier Academy Instagram, for the most part, it's that red, right? Because we're red. And we have those 2 fonts that we use, and most of all of our pictures are of happy smiling kids. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so now the other thing that I was just thinking we could talk about too, and guys, again, I'm just going to mention this. If you have questions about stuff, post them in there. One of the things that was super helpful that Sarah did a couple of years ago now that helped is if you have somebody that's going to be potentially taking over your social media for you as well, find some resources for them, some educational opportunities that they can take. So we had found it was called Social School.
Yes, I did. Yes. Yeah. It was just local here, but I'm pretty sure that they do around. But generally going into it, because I was already doing social media for a little bit prior to, I knew what they were talking about, but it was really good to, take this course, even just as a refresher, and as like, okay, these are concrete things that I know will work, and these are concrete things that should be done. So that is really good as well. But there is tons of stuff that you can find online. You could spend hours on YouTube. There are so many social media influencers who all have their own perfect recipe for getting engagement and getting content and getting that reach to get high. So, if you are wanting to get your social media up, I encourage you to educate yourself, hop on and, as annoying as it is, subscribe to these social media influencers, because they do give you some good information a lot of the time. So,
okay, let's talk a little bit about how much time do you spend creating content and stuff. And I know this is going to be hard because, again, she manages 3 locations and then now is doing some stuff for Next Gen as well. So just to give a rough idea. And the thing is, you guys too, the way to get the most out of your time, and that Sarah does fairly well, is to batch your work. So sit down and take like an hour or 2 hours and create and schedule posts for the next week, right? Okay, so
I probably do, I think I'm 15 hours a week.
Yeah,
I can't.
Like
I think, but you know what? It varies. Some months you're slammed. I'm so busy. Other months there's not too much going on, so it varies. But general rule of thumb as well, it's really good to pre-schedule things and get that going. But I also wouldn't get too ahead of yourself, because things change. New things come up, right? Maybe a new trend has come up and you want to use that on Monday rather than something else that you had pre-scheduled. So make sure you pre-schedule. I try to at least stay 2 or 3 days ahead of myself. But don't feel like you need to get a month ahead, unless you have specific things that like, hey, I'm going to schedule a birthday party post every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. because I know that that's a good time, and I know that that's something that I need to post about.
Right.
So
yeah, absolutely. Okay, your key tools right now that you use to create content.
Canva. I love Canva. I love Canva. It is so good. There's a lot of people, I've seen people use Poster My Wall as well, but I'm a huge advocate for Canva.
Well, and the cool thing is now you can create videos in there, and there's all these really great templates. And again, we have our wonderful Connect 3. So if you're looking for like done for you images and content, then check out Connect 3 as well if you're not part of the Academy, because we do 30 images or posts that you can just edit and change your branding on it and put your own stuff, and it's super simple to do. So
I'm working on the March one right now, and I'm just adding a little bit of my spice in there. So it's going to be so perfect for everybody. I'm excited to see everybody use it.
But Canva is, if you're not using Canva already, it's the bomb. It's the bomb. So you've got some really great stuff on there. Okay, what other questions does everybody have, either on transitioning a staff member over to taking over your social media, or any challenges that you have in terms of your social media as well? Let us know, post in the comments. I know there's a bit of a delay, so we'll give it a second and see if anybody else has any questions. But I think that was a lot of really great.
You know what? It's a lot. It is tons.
Yeah.
Like I remember, a couple of years ago when you had sent me to that conference, and I was in the social media game, but I was fairly new, and I remember leaving and going, oh my goodness, there's a lot of stuff. Like there is a lot of stuff. Social media is huge, and it is like the #1 marketing tool right now that you can use to, expand your business. But take it slow. Stay comfortable with what you're doing. And
well, and even if you're one of those that you're not really consistent quite yet in your posting, start with even just posting once a day on Facebook. Like I know Sarah says she does 3 posts a day, but even if you get out there 1 post a day, that's more. And for those of you guys who say you struggle with engagement and organic reach and stuff with it, the more that you are consistent in what you're doing, the more organic reach you're going to get too with it. And more that you can start having people figure out what people engage really well with, then you're also going to start seeing some more organic reach on there too.
Right.
And the difference between organic reach is what Facebook shows everybody else,
Right.
versus there's paid reach. So there's organic reach and there's paid reach.
And
Yeah.
Facebook can be mean sometimes, and it can hide your stuff. I'm not joking. It can be mean. You can have a really awesome thing and it's going, but Facebook's just like, no, I don't like it. I'm not going to put you up there. One thing too that I thought of just at the top of my head for videos is new skills for athletes.
Right, yes.
That is a huge and a super easy thing that you can do as well. A kid got their cartwheel.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, little Susie got her cartwheel. Here's a video of her. She just perfected it today. You're going to have that mom share it. You're going to have that grandma share it. You're going to have, right? Tons of things. Like, videos are the best. And I wish we had kids in the gym right now so I could get some videos.
I know, right? The other thing that's helpful too is building out yourself a content calendar as well. And I know that we have a sample one in the Academy member area too, but figuring out if you're wanting to get consistent on stuff. I know that Sarah, you do, what is Monday? Do you do? So is there a consistent thing on Monday?
I always do a motivational quote on Monday. So something like that. Before I ran out of athletes, it was Meet the Team Monday.
Right. Tuesday you do tumbling Tuesday?
Tumble tip Tuesday, testimonial Tuesday, tip Tuesday. Gosh, you really just kind of got to play on the days of the week.
Yes. Wisdom Wednesday.
Work for a Wednesday. Yeah. Throwback Thursday, thoughtful Thursday, thankful Thursday, fearless Friday. Like,
we do the fit tip Friday too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can really just choose a segment that works. So you know that this Fit Tip Friday or this Tip Tuesday for these back walkover tips really did well. So, hey, next week, I'm going to run with it. I'm going to do the same kind of thing. You could use your same kind of graphic or video that you created and just change it a little bit to, specify how it is for that week, and you'll see it go again. So another thing, too, that I like to do just to get our posts in there and shown is sometimes I'll share them into our members group.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's an easy thing too. Then you're guaranteed it's going to be showed to all those members. So they're going to view it. They're going to see it. You're going to see that post post reach and those engagements go up that way as well.
Yeah.
So
the one thing that's helped with content right now for us, we've been shut down for so long, is we spent a bunch of time building out a Google Classroom for all of our members with skills and drills and all that kind of stuff. And so the really cool thing about it, so not only were we building this really great resource for our families, that they could work on skills and drills at home, but it also built this resource for Sarah that she could multi-purpose this. And so that's where she's taking all of her Tumble Tip Tuesday or Fit Tip Friday or whatever, those videos, and just repurposing them on, here's a really great jump drill, and just putting our stuff on it. So again, go back to find some time to batch your work. And if you're wanting to create some content or get some stuff to use, take some time and do 5 videos or get 20 images that you're going to be able to use for the next little while. It's kind of, you have to think ahead if you're wanting to really make the most out of your social media.
Like on Sunday, I sent a message to our staff, and Rihanna's going to bring a couple of her kids in, and I'm literally just doing a picture day for content and for videos. So I'm bringing kids in. I'm going to get these happy smiling kids over here and take some pictures and take some videos, and then I'm just going to take all this stuff. Perfect. This is what I'm going to use for the next 2 months for things. So you need to kind of take time too. It's good to go in and take pictures of what's going on in the gym, but if you haven't, I suggest grabbing your phone, grabbing a couple kids. Hey, stand here and pose like this. Hey, do a bridge for me, or hey, do a handstand, and make sure they got that big happy smile on their face, and use that stuff. Because I know generally it's hard to pull pictures and videos online. And it's really, really good when you can have your brand behind it as well. So
you bet. Yeah. So moral of the story is it takes work to have a good social media
and time.
Profile and time. Yes, but it is well worth your effort to spend some time on it. And if you were like me, where you were posting every once in a while and you're super inconsistent, at some point in time, it might be worth considering having somebody really awesome that you can find.
And it took her a while. It took her a while to hand me the ropes. she was letting me do it, but it was still, you know, so
I know. Now she's good.
Now I don't let you.
I know.
I tell you no.
Back off.
Oh gosh.
Yes. It's good when it gets to that point.
Yeah. 11 years. This is what
I
11
know,
years
right?
looks like.
Yeah. So yeah, anyways, guys, I don't know if there's any other questions on stuff that we can help with. Just kind of want to reiterate again to make sure if you're not familiar with seeing your insights, then take a look at that and figure out how to find your insights and watch that kind of stuff, because that's going to help you a lot in figuring out when you should be posting and who your market is and all that kind of stuff as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. The other quick tip that just thinking off the top of my head in terms of building your following on Facebook, if you're not familiar already with how to go in and invite people, figure out how to do that. I think you said you do that every Monday.
Every Monday, yeah, I go through. There's actually an easy, I don't know if it's specifically on my business app, but every couple days a button comes up where it says 4 people have recently liked your post, but they do not like your page. And then I just click invite and it goes through. But if that doesn't come up, what I suggest you doing is just go through your posts that you did for the last couple weeks, take a look at everybody who liked it, and on the sidebar beside their name, you're going to see liked or not. So then it has an invite option, so you click on that, and that's another thing too. Another thing too that I just thought off the top of my head is reviews.
Yes.
Send an email out to your membership. Hey, we're looking on building our reputation online. Take 2 minutes if you could and just quickly write out a quick review. That's another thing too. I know even as a parent putting my child into something, that's one of the first things I look at, right? Reviews. The reviews. So really make sure you're on top of that and asking people and get them to check in. If they posted a picture of their kid outside of Premier, excited for their first class, be like, hey, that's awesome. Check it in for me too. So then it shows up on their Facebook page as well. Yeah.
We did a couple of years ago. If people checked in on Facebook, then they could come and get a free water bottle from us too. So that's another really great way to get it out there.
My kid's thirsty. Okay, check in on Facebook and you'll get that free water bottle.
You can have a water bottle. We're gonna close the water fountain.
Yeah.
So you have to check in. No water for you.
Oh no!
Just kidding. We didn't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yes. Okay. Well, I think we're almost done. Is there anything else you can think of off the top of your head?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No. Okay. Hopefully you guys found that helpful and kind of got some good tips and stuff like that out from it. And and if you guys have any questions in the meantime, you can reach out to me and I can certainly help you out. Again, I'm just going to do a quick little plug for Connect 3 again, because it's a really, really fantastic resource. And if you're not part of the Academy, it's only $29 a month. So it's
worth it.
Basically $1 a graphic that you can just take and put your logo on.
Less than $1 because there's 30 images that you get.
Yes.
So it's worth it.
It is very much worth it.
And like I said, you'll get my little bit of spice that I put in there too. So
yeah. So check that out if you haven't already looked at that. And otherwise, have a fantastic rest of your day, everyone. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. And we'll see you in a couple weeks back again for the Next Gen Connection.